Would like to call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council this November 25th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in the council chambers of West Valley City Hall. Tonight we excuse Mayor Lang. All other council members are present. Councilmember Wood, Councilmember Whetstone, Councilmember Harmon, Councilmember Hune, and Councilmember Nordfeld. I'm Mayor Pro Tem Christensen, and I'll be conducting the meeting this evening. We're also joined on the dais by Mr. Ifo Pili, our city manager, and Ms. Nicole Kamak, our city recorder. Our opening ceremony tonight will be by Councilmember Lars Nordfeld.
Thank you. Will everyone please join with us and stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you.
Thank you. The minutes of November 18th, 2025. Do we have a motion?
I move for approval of minutes of November 18th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have awards, ceremonies, and proclamations. Our first award, we want to take a moment to congratulate our city recorder, Nicole Kamak, for receiving the Recorder of the Year award from the Utah Municipal Clerks Association. This recognition highlights not only her hard work, but also the positive impact she has on our staff, our council, and our entire community. We're grateful for her commitment and proud to have her as part of our team. Congratulations. Thank you, Nicole. Councilmember Whetstone, a proclamation recognizing and approving the West Valley City, Utah 250 Community Committee.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. A proclamation recognizing and approving the West Valley City, Utah 250 Community Committee, whereas Governor Spencer J. Cox and the Utah State Legislature created the America 250 Utah Commission, also known as America 250 Utah. And the mission of America 250 Utah is to commemorate and celebrate, reflect on our nation's past, build community, and look forward to the future by educating, engaging, and uniting Utahns and visitors to our state. And America 250 Utah is seeking partnerships with counties and municipalities to further its mission. And this partnership will be formed by creating a local committee called the West Valley City Utah 250 Community Committee. And the West Valley City Utah 250 Community Committee will focus on important events, people, and places within West Valley City to commemorate and celebrate West Valley City's role in America's 250th anniversary. And local projects will enhance tourism, community building, and economic development opportunities. Now, therefore, the Mayor and the City Council of West Valley City do hereby recognize the West Valley City Utah 250 Community Committee as its official committee to partner with America 250 Utah in supporting signature programs of the America 250 Utah Commission, and will support the West Valley City Utah 250 Community Committee in its local efforts to educate, engage, and unify Utahns and our visitors in West Valley City. Dated this day, 25th day of November, 2025.
Thank you. I don't believe we have anyone here from the committee on the state level, so we'll make sure that they get the proclamation. It's now time for public comment period. We'll now accept public comment. Comment period is limited to 30 minutes. Any person wishing to comment shall limit their comments to 3 minutes. Upon recognition by the Mayor Pro Tem, you'll approach the microphone. If you did not sign up, please give your name and address. All comments shall be directed to the Mayor Pro Tem. No person addressing the City Council during the comment period shall be allowed to comment more than once. Comments shall be limited to city business and matters within the purview of the City Council. Speakers should not expect any debate with the mayor, City Council, or city staff. The Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, or city staff may respond after the comment period has concluded. Speakers shall refrain from personal attacks against fellow citizens, city staff, or members of the City Council. We will also have 4 public hearings this evening: a public approval certificate for Ensign Engineering, adoption of the Utah Wildland Urban Interface Code, application GP 6-2025, or application GPZ 4-8-2025. If you're here to address any of those items, it would be best to hold your comments until we open the public hearing for each of those items. First speaker, number 1.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. Grateful to be here today. I'd like to speak about the Ridge Golf Course. And a lot's been said about the Ridge over the past several city council meetings. And I'm not sure what I can add to that to be any more convincing of what's already been said. I feel like it's been, many of us have been like the Lorax up here speaking for the trees and trying to say what we can to protect the golf course. So I could talk today about property taxes and how I feel this will affect each individual's property taxes. I could talk about some skewed surveys and statistics that are questionable. I could talk about the finances of the city and how this would affect that. But the fact of the matter is that I feel that the Ridge Golf Course makes West Valley City a nicer place. And to me, it's a feature in a otherwise somewhat featureless city. It's something that makes West Valley City beautiful and not boring. It's something that brings people in and doesn't keep them away. It provides green spaces and not just concrete and asphalt and developments. It's a refuge for wildlife and birds, and it's also a refuge for the veterans in our area who've spoken here before about the importance that the Ridge has for them as they gather together. And it seems to me, not speaking on behalf of them, but it seems that the Ridge would be a suitable memorial rather than a statue or a plaque elsewhere. The Ridge also helped my son find something meaningful as he learned to play golf. And it helped his old dad learn a little bit as well, to pick up golf clubs for the first time. And it isn't just, the Ridge isn't just a golf course, but it's also West Valley City's future. And we should definitely not mortgage our future. And we should do everything that we can to keep West Valley City a nice place for us, for our children, for future residents, and all who come here. And like Dr. Seuss's Lorax, we speak for the trees or we speak for the golf course because it has no tongue. And unless someone cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 2.
Good evening, council members. My name is Lance Lisiaga. I'm proud to represent the Utah Carpenters. I'm your regular carpenter on the job site who wears a hard hat and steel toe boots to put food on the table. I'm here today because I care deeply about my city of West Valley and about the future of the workforce that builds it. As you consider upcoming projects, construction projects in West Valley, I want to ask you deeply, just to look closely at who's doing the work. Often cities end up awarding projects to cash-paying contractors that don't invest in training, don't invest in safety, and don't invest in our community. On the other hand, we're trained, certified, and held to the highest standards. And most importantly, we take tremendous pride in what we do. This city deserves work that is safe, durable, and done right the first time. I assure you, you'll be investing directly back into your own city as many of our members reside within the city limits. Council members, choose contractors who care about the quality of your projects and the well-being of your residents. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Speaker 3.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council. Saturday, I got to attend the West Side Community event that was going on. What a great event at the Culture Center. Another great event at the Culture Center. After 20 years of a building not being used, it's so great to see this building being used more and more. And somebody asked me about how many events are going there, and I would guess that 5 out of the 7 days, there's something going on if it's not 6. And it's so great to see this building being used finally after years. And this was such a great event. All the dancers from different cultures were all there, singers, little kids to older people. It was so great. And for the ones that know Frida, she puts us on, and Jake Fitsuyamu was there. And there was a lot of health departments there, free shots and stuff. So it was a great event to be at. And Mayor Pro Tem was there. He showed up. On every vote that you guys are making, remember the approximately 150,000 people that live in West Valley City, and it's not the few hundred. You guys work for all of us, and your decisions need to be all of us, not for special interests, not for people that tried to buy campaigns. It's about the 150,000 people. And then community giving. I regularly volunteer at the Utah Food Bank, and we've been swamped. And I found out just since November 1st to today, $350,000 worth of food from private citizens that have come in. That's their estimated value, plus what the state has donated and stuff. So when we talk about community giving, there's so many different ways to give in the community. In West Valley City is fortunate because we have the My Hometown Project, but we also have a lot of residents and businesses that give back in our community. And it's so great. And I want to say thank you as a citizen. And there's such a need out there, and to see the residents all come together, whether it's a day of service at a community resource center or driving up in the food line and donating food. Sometimes it's a little bit, sometimes it's a lot. And it's so great to see. And West Valley City, we're very, very fortunate. In the state of Utah, we're very, very fortunate compared to other states. That's all I have.
Thank you. Speaker 4.
Good evening. My name is Brooklyn Hill, and I'm 13 years old. I wanted to speak regarding the Ridge Golf Course. I believe that it would be wrong to sell this beautiful piece of land that has shaped many lives of those around us and is the home of many precious animals just for some high density and overpriced housing we don't even need. We humans believe, or seem to believe, that we own everything on this earth, and that is not the case. It belongs to our Creator. How dare we think that it is okay to sell pieces of God's land and the homes of precious creatures for our own benefit? This is the question that I encourage you all to ask yourselves. I started coming to these meetings because I'm on the student council at my school, and I wanted to see how things work in the real world. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed. It seems wrong that tax-paying citizens are only given 3 minutes to speak while council members get to respond and speak for as long as desired. I understand the need for structure and to stay on track, but it feels disrespectful when we citizens are cut off mid-sentence because the 3-minute talking time is over. We citizens shouldn't be limited to 30 minutes as a whole to speak our opinions about something so dear to our community. It also feels very wrong to be told that we citizens can't clap for a young person who had enough courage to speak up for a veteran who shared deep concerns for his fellow veterans dealing with PTSD. You have told us that if we clap for someone, we will be removed from the room. Does that really feel right to everyone? Think about it. If we clap for a fellow citizen, we can be threatened with removal. What would warrant council members to be removed? Honestly, I'm wondering if we've forgotten that our government is supposed to work for we the people, not the other way around. The moment the public realizes that the government needs to answer to us and not the other way around, that's the moment that our beloved communities thrive, rather than being torn down and redesigned by people who seem to love money more than humanity and God's creation. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wants to speak at this time? Okay, thank you. We'll move. We'll now move to our public hearings. Our first action is accept public input regarding the execution of a public approval certificate. And the actions that will be taken as a result of this will be to consider Resolution 25-171 to authorize the execution of a public approval certificate for Ensign Learning Center. I'll now open the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on this item? Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing and turn the time to the council for discussion or a motion on Resolution 25-171.
Mayor Pro Tem, I want to ask Jim Welch, make sure I understand this before I vote. Is that be okay, Jim?
Okay, Mr. Welch?
Happy to explain this. There are provisions in state and federal code that allow learning centers, schools, nonprofit organizations to apply for nonprofit or else tax exempt bonding to build their construction projects. We have Ensign Learning Academy, which is located within the bounds of West Valley City. The financing used to be something that we would initiate here at the city and then pass through as a conduit financer for these type of entities. However, that's changed. They're no longer required to do that. Gilmore Bell, who is the bond counsel that we worked with a number of times, is facilitating this. The way the law is written, all we have to do is hold a public hearing and give the public the opportunity to express their opinion on the bond sale. And then they will be able to go forward with their project regardless of what happens with that hearing. So there's really no obligation with the city. We don't have to include it on our financial statements. There's nothing that we sign other than the mayor does sign this certificate that says that we did hold the public hearing to fulfill that obligation.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
I move for approval of Resolution 25-171.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Ms. Kamak?
Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilmember Harmon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Yes.
Councilmember Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Christensen.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Our next public hearing is on to accept public input regarding the adoption of the Utah Wildlife Urban Interface Code. We'll consider ordinance 25-34 and enact chapter 14-16 of the West Valley City Municipal Code to adopt certain international building codes. In the 2025 legislative session, a law was enacted recording different Okay, let me start all over again. You wouldn't think that I actually worked as a teacher for 25 years, a long time. In the 2025 legislative session, a law was enacted requiring local governments to adopt the the Utah Public Wildlife Federal Urban Interface Code to be eligible to participate in several fire mitigation funding sources. This ordinance adopts the 2006 Utah Utah Medical Mild Lane would you please read this for me? I know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling fine, but it's not letting me know.
You need some water?
I've got some.
Okay.
This ordinance adopts the 2006 Utah Wildland Urban Interface Code, together with any amendments made by the state of Utah. We will now open the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on this item?
Okay.
We will now close the public hearing and turn the time to the council for discussion or a motion on ordinance 25-34.
I would motion to approve ordinance 25-34.
Second. Ms. Keating.
Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilmember Harmon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Yes.
Councilmember Nordfelt,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Christensen.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Want me to keep going or?
Let me try it.
Okay.
We'll accept now public input regarding application GP6 2025, filed by West Valley City, requesting an adoption of a water use and preservation element as part of the city's general plan. The action term will consider ordinance 25-35 to adopt a water use and preservation element as part of the West Valley City General Plan. In 2022, the Utah Legislature passed SB 110, which required a water use and preservation element to be part of cities' general plans on or before December 31st, 2025. This ordinance would fulfill that requirement. I'll now open the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on this item? I'll now close the public hearing and turn the time to the council for discussion or a motion on ordinance 25-35.
A motion to approve ordinance 25-35.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Ms. Kamic.
Councilmember Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Yes.
Councilmember Harmon,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Christensen.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We'll now do our fourth public hearing. We'll accept public information regarding application GPZ 4-2025 filed by Eloy Santana Perez requesting a general plan change from rural residential 1 to 2 acre units per acre to light manufacturing and a zone change from A1 agriculture minimum lot size 1 acre to M manufacturing. We'll consider ordinance 25-36 and to amend the general plan to show a change of land use from rural residential 1 to 2 acres, 1 to 2 units per acre to light manufacturing for property located at 2720 South, 6750 West. We'll also consider ordinance 25-37 to amend the zoning map to show a change of zone for property located at 2720 South, 6720 West from A1 agricultural minimum lot size 1 acre to M manufacturing. The applicant of this application, GPZ 4-2025, has requested a general plan change from rural residential to light manufacturing and a zone change from agriculture to manufacturing so he can legally have parking and storage for his trucking business. I'll now open the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak to this item? Please give us your name and address.
Yeah,
For the
Daniel
record.
Terry, 7027 West, 3265 South, West Valley City, Utah, 84128. New to this process, so brought my son here tonight because of school, and I decided to read what was on the docket and saw that this was on the docket, sent a couple of emails to find out what was going on, and was very interested by this. It looks like Mr. Perez was trying to convert this property over. It's sitting in what I would say right next to where I live. Looks like a manufacturing area anyways. We're putting up all these buildings over there. And it looks like, I was looking back and it looks like there was a recommendation to deny it. And I was like, that seems weird. Why? So kind of reached out, asked a couple of questions. They said he's been running this thing on his lot for too long and the city doesn't like it. And so he's trying to convert it. And the recommendation from the city is we don't want to encourage that. And I was like, okay, but the guy's trying to comply. And then I look back and West Valley City bought 0.2 acres from this guy in order to run the West Pond Overflow Project. So they buy a chunk of land from this guy, he sells it to you guys, and then he tries to convert in order to comply with the law, and he gets told no. So in my mind, I'm like, what is the city council doing? Somebody's trying to comply. We have a small business in the area. Maybe the guy was a jerk and maybe he didn't listen to the city council when they asked him not to do it from there. But the guy's trying to convert now and he's trying to like uplift the property and it's right next to this other commercial property there. So I'd say convert it, guys, let him comply and let the business go on. So that's just my recommendation to the council.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, honorary members of the council. My name is Perla Santana. We are the owners. Here is my husband, Eloy Santana. We are the owners of this property we are discussing today. First, I would like to thank you for all your time and giving the opportunity to discuss the rezoning case. I also wanted to add some more information to the report Mrs. Pastoric has kindly made it for us. Thank you again, Mrs. Pastoric. Last year, the city came to us with a maintenance project plan, which would require about a quarter acre of our property on the north side. While we weren't actively looking to sell our property, we knew that it will greatly benefit the city. So we, my husband and I, talked with the city. And we came upon an agreement that resulted in an ongoing construction. You have seen in the pictures you have been presented to you today. In my point of view, my husband's point of view, we believe there is a good chance of being approved because there is also an office located by our house as well as the Magna Water District, where there are some trucks coming in and out all day. After 3 meetings we have attended, we also understand there is a possibility that there will be a decline of rezoning our property because there is also a project plan of building a park by our house. While in the event there is a decline in the rezoning, we want to ask all of you if there is a way to get a special parking permit of some kind of able to park our trucks on the partial south of the property, where there isn't any construction and where it is easily access to park our trucks. I would deeply appreciate some guidance on what we could do next, as well as some resources we could use. As we plan to reactivate our trucking business next year, we would deeply appreciate some sort of temporary parking pass. But thank you again for your time and consideration on the rezoning of our property. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. I will close the public hearing and turn the time to the council for action items on this ordinance 25-36 for the general plan change and ordinance 25-37 for the zone change.
Who presented this one last time? Can that Steve Patrick, can you
Mhm.
come up here? I have a couple of questions, please. Sorry, I didn't pay attention last time, so I gotta learn something here. In the east side of this property, what does that look like, the building right there in the east side? Is that a factory or the,
It's the city's park maintenance facility.
okay. That gentleman, he said over there, did we buy land from this family?
So the city did. If you look at, in looking at the map, you can see the south part of the property is basically at right angles. It used to be this property was just a rectangle, but if you notice in the northern part, it's has kind of a jagged edge. So the city acquired the portion that is kind of that northern part that's that irregular shape. Sorry, I would point, but I don't have a pointer there, but it's, yeah, it's that northern portion, and it was for, I believe for stormwater purposes, as well as the extension of the road up to the Magna Water treatment facility.
So we did buy a small portion of this from this family, right?
Correct.
I would love in the future, we probably include that information in our study meeting. So we can understand a little bit more detail about the property. We can make decision to vote yes or no. You know what I'm saying? Would love to see that next time.
Sure.
Yeah. Because we have usually the first page, we have a background, right? For the presentation, we need to have a background to present the stuff to us. So that background, yeah, please just include a little bit the history. I appreciate that very much in the future. I motion to approve for.
Can I have one more question?
Sure.
Steve?
Go ahead.
So if this zoning was approved, would they still be able to live in this single family home? Or the home that's there?
Yes, it would become what we call a non-conforming use. So the manufacturing zone doesn't allow housing, but where the home's already there, it could continue. And the way a non-conforming use works is that if the use of the home as a home were to cease for a period of a year or more, then at that point it would have to be some other use. But assuming they continue to live in it, it could remain a home indefinitely.
Okay, and I think last week you also said that there's no development agreement right now. But if the zoning was changed, there'd have to be a development agreement and it'd have to have some improvements done to it and things like that.
So we don't have to
Have
have
to,
a development
okay.
agreement, but at the time, the thought was that if there are certain things the council wanted to see in terms of improvements, or another example would be in some cases where we've rezoned to manufacturing, if there are certain uses that you feel like that the manufacturing zone would allow, but maybe aren't appropriate here, that we've done a development agreement to say, okay, you can have the trucking business, but maybe not like other uses that would be problematic for the area. The requirements in terms of like paving and landscaping, those are all in the code and they would have to do those anyway. But if there are other things we want to impose like use limitations, then that would be done by a development agreement.
Okay, and the use that they're wanting to use this for, that is allowed under the light manufacturing?
It's
zone?
allowed under the manufacturing. zone, yeah.
Manufacturing.
And if the council did approve this or had mind to approve it, would you suggest we continue it until we get a development agreement in place?
If, right, because our ability to impose a development agreement is now at the zoning. So if that's important to the council to have a development agreement, then yeah, I would recommend that we table it so that we can put that together, have it on the agenda at the same time as the zone change.
And I'm going to make a motion to deny the action, so.
Before we do that, I have another question. Steve, it was mentioned that there's maybe some other manufacturing around there. Could you tell us what the zoning is around this property?
Sure, and maybe, I think there's a slide that zooms out a little bit. Ken, if you can go to that, I think we have one other image here. So immediately surrounding the property, it's all agricultural zoning. You actually have to go further north. To the north of this property is Magna Water's property with the treatment plant. North of that, on the other side of the Ritter Canal, is where you start getting into industrial, where you have the larger, distribution warehouses. But pretty much all along the north side of Parkway, which, in this area, and on the south side is either agriculture or residential along Parkway Boulevard.
And in our general plan, we have long-term plan for this area. And what's the long-term plan for this area?
So in this area, it is for rural residential, which is these kind of larger agricultural properties. And you have several of those that exist along Parkway. This is one that's one of the exceptions where it's not right on Parkway, but many of those are these kind of narrow but very deep lots that front Parkway Boulevard.
Thank you.
And the property just to the south of this, is that residential?
It is, yeah.
Couple of questions about the west side of this property is in a little bit more on the west side. Some buildings there, what is that? That's the light industrial building or what is that?
On the west side of this property?
Yeah,
So those are just agricultural, like chicken coop type buildings. So you can see in this image, and this is earlier this year, there's a number of semi-trailers, but then they're more just sort of outbuildings and like agricultural type buildings along that west side.
yeah, I misunderstood right here. I meant like adjacent and then the west side of the adjacent, and a few more properties way in the west. I saw some building, I try to get that. Yeah, it's something like 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth, yeah, the barn. It's about the number 5, number 6 is the barn.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have that in front of me, but
Yeah,
I
that's-
know,
that's-
I know
have
there.
it right here too.
This is a different slideshow.
Can we put it there?
Yeah, maybe it looks like that one.
Sir, we don't have the entire slide deck on this one, but I can send it over to Mr. Cushing if you'd like, so we can pull it up.
Yeah, I just wonder about that. It's kind of like the end, of the west side, I saw some buildings there. Is the barns or chicken coop or what is that look
Yeah,
like?
I know generally speaking, so for the properties that are along the north side of Parkway Boulevard, they tend to have the house out by the street, and then many of them have garages or sheds or agricultural buildings behind the house. But but again, without seeing the specific property, it's hard for me to say.
So this application is the first application to turn this one into light industrial property.
Correct, right. On this particular property, we have not had a previous application to make this change.
But we're talking about the whole street in the north side of Parkway Boulevard, from this one to the west.
So I'm not aware of any other zone change requests we've had in this area for industrial. So again, we've had, if you go further east, one, I'll call it, exception or maybe changes. If you remember, there was a property just west of Mountain View Corridor and south of the Ritter Canal where it was a company called Van Trust that rezoned
Okay.
property. But that was right next to Mountain View Corridor and north of this charter school that's there. That's the one exception I can think of where we've had industrial south of the canal. Otherwise, we've generally kind of kept the manufacturing north of the Ritter Canal and Beagley Road that's there by the canal.
Thank you.
I just want to explain why I would deny it, and that's mainly because the general plan is rural residential. And if we changed it, it would be a spot zone within that rural residential that would be completely different. And then the second reason is I'm going to try and make it a habit to not go against the planning commission too often, but I think their suggestion is on the right track.
I agree. I don't know that usually I would be in favor of carving out a specific sliver of land to rezone different than surrounding areas. However, in this particular situation, with the equipment yard to the east, I drove by yesterday and having this, the trucks there, they didn't look out of place. It looked like it, that they belong there just because of what's surrounding it. And so in this particular situation, I would be in favor of the rezone.
Yeah, I drove out there as well, and the property needs some improvement for sure, but to the east, right there is a business, at the city. So I don't know why we think it's okay, just across the street to have a non-residential, but this side we don't think we want to do it. And I understand going against the general plan, but I also think we need to think of a good use. for that property right by other businesses. So I would be for approval of it.
And I should clarify, I would be in favor of a development agreement prior to
Well,
approval.
yes. And if we need to continue it to get that development agreement, do you want to make a motion or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to continue this application and request a development agreement that we can review and consider zoning change on this property. To continue it to the next meeting, would we be able to do it?
Second.
I'd like some discussion before we vote. I just want to add my view on this, that that we should be really careful about taking something in an agriculture area that's open space and carve it out for one landowner who's who didn't follow the rules for agriculture zone, and then to grant that to them. I really, but for me, the most important thing is this is an area that we can keep as an open area. The city owns a lot of land here that we're turning into a park, but it also serves as a place for our stormwater to go. And if we can keep that open and not have a trucking yard right next to it, I think that would be ideal. I don't think we should have this practice of someone is going against the zoning laws and then we just change the zoning to make it so that they can continue to do that. I understand their desire for a business, and I feel bad that this would take that from them for this land, but the rules were there when they bought the land, and we should respect the rules and not grant it. So that's why I'm going to vote no against the continuance. I think we should deny today.
May I say something? Yeah, I love it, kind of like, you know, debate back and forth and try to figure out how to, you know, solve this problem. I have a question for the city for this one. In fact, we purchased a small portion of this property already in the past. So are you planning to buy the whole thing? So anybody can.
Councilmember, maybe if you're directed to staff, no, there's no plans. From what I've just read and from my understanding, you have storm drain and it was for public infrastructure, which in my opinion is probably irrelevant to the decision at hand. I think for us as staff, we're not proposing to purchase this property.
Okay.
One additional thing, the planning commission has voted to deny. Our staff has advised us not to approve it. So I think there's enough good reasons to deny it, and I agree with Lars.
Okay. We have one motion before us. Ms. Kamak.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Can I get clarification? Is the continuance to the December 9th
Yes.
city council meeting? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was on the record. Okay, Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilmember Harmon,
No.
Councilmember Hune,
Yes.
Councilmember Nordfelt,
No.
and Mayor Pro Tem Christensen.
Yes.
Motion for continuance passes by majority.
Okay, we
Do
have
we
our,
need a continuance on the second item?
Yes, sir. We have one more action.
I'll move that we continue, which resolution is that?
Ordinance 25-37.
Ordinance dash 25-37, that we continue that to December 9th as well. And direct the staff to prepare a development agreement.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Kamic.
Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilmember Harmon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Yes.
Councilmember Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Christensen.
Yes.
Motion for continuance passes unanimously.
Okay, we now have our consent agenda. We have 7 items on our consent agenda tonight, including a memorandum of understanding with the state of Utah for cultural center programming, a professional services agreement with Horax Engineers, a federal aid agreement with UDOT, and an interlocal agreement with Magna City for 7200 West improvements, and some of our usual deeds and easements, as well as the appointment of Adriana Ramirez to the Planning Commission. We can take these all together or one at a time. To the council for a discussion or a motion.
Motion to approve all the items of the consent agenda.
Second. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve all the items on the consent agenda. Ms. Kamic?
Councilmember Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Yes.
Councilmember Harmon,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Christensen.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
We have one item of new business. This will be Resolution 25-179, approving an interagency agreement with the Department of Workforce Services. This resolution authorizes an interagency agreement between the city and the Utah Department of Workforce Services to provide the city with mitigation funding to help offset the increased public safety workload resulting from the temporary overflow homeless shelter in the city. To the council.
Motion to approve resolution 25-179.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilmember Wood,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilmember Harmon,
Yes.
Councilmember Hune,
Yes.
Councilmember Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Christensen.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Do we need a closed session tonight? Okay, one more item.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.